Marv says, did they give us a release date for Pusha T yet? No. We're just getting a lot of interviews.
In a lot of interviews.
Okay. That's what I want to start with.
What about this?
Well, no. Let me start with what Ebro said.
Okay.
Ebro tweeted out, your streams may be higher, but Pusha T's album is still more important. And I'm glad in the Hot 97 interview he clarified that because, you know, when he said the streams might be higher, everybody brought Drake's name into it, yada, yada. But I do agree with the fact that it is important that we do celebrate somebody who's been in the game for 20 years and is still, you know, pretty much in his prime, I guess you would say, right? As a solo artist. So that is important to see.
Realistically speaking, Mike, yes, he would be at the. If we're talking like, because I know we were trying to think of NBA players to compare him to. So if we're talking about his NBA career, I mean, when would you say this kicked off? About 2009, 2010 officially? When did Till the Casket Drop come out?
Till the Casket Drop. What was that? 09, y'all? I think it might have been.
09.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I mean, he hit the mixtapes hard, like it's like again, like on some re-up gang shit solo right after that.
Yeah.
From 2010. So yeah, he's about 12 years into his career. So this would be like solo prime, starting to be the end of solo prime type of stuff. Like, you know.
What I get from Pusha T is, man, he loves this rap shit.
But I'm about to say, but who knows? Because, you know.
He loves this rap shit, but this press run thing that he's doing, I could tell this is kind of new for him. And what is it? What's those guys' name? Diesel Zamero on Showtime?
Yeah. The Susamero.
The Susamero. He did their show. He did the Charlemagne interview. He did Hot 97, Ebro's in the Morning. All three of those interviews are drastically different. Actually covered three different things. I tend to lean more towards Ebro's interviews because he focuses more on the music, whereas Charlemagne's interviews are more about personal life. It feels like Charlemagne's trying to be Dr. Phil or something, or give an Oprah-style type of interview. Desus and Mero, it was kind of like a lot of clowning and stuff. You know, it was short. It was 15 minutes. But what I do get from this is Pharrell is extremely involved in this Pusha T project in ways that he's never been involved in Pusha T's solo career, feels like.
Right.
And it feels like they're going in two, I don't want to say two totally different directions, but it feels like from what Pusha T is saying, they're clashing a lot, or they have clashed throughout the process of creating this project in ways where Pusha wants to keep it street and all the stuff that we like about Pusha, and Pharrell's trying to take it somewhere that Pusha's audience may not like. Mike 100 says, why Ebro and the company don't show Nas the same love publicly? Good question. Well, you know, I think that kind of goes to something that me and Coop were talking about offline. It seems like the machine is fully behind this Pusha T project. And I feel like that's more Pharrell than it is Kanye. But, you know, what are some of your thoughts from some of the interviews you've seen?
I don't love it. You know, I'm a big fan. This is my favorite rapper post the whole. I mean, this is my favorite rapper pretty much post Godson from Nas. You know, until recently again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So this is my guy. I've heard everything, and I've never seen a rollout like this for him. And so I tried to look at it from the perspective of the way Nas fans looked at it when we were talking about the Grammys, and it's like, no. He deserved that type of pub and that type of run. Let's give him that. And so from that basis, for his fan base, if his fan base likes to see him get, you know, hyped and publicized this way, I'm all for it because he's earned it. Because he's actually, Mike, I mean, I know people keep talking about grinding. It's 20 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so like people are like, oh, he's been in the rap game 20 years. It's like, no. He's been in the rap game longer than that. I keep trying to tell people. They used to be called Full Eclipse, and their debut album is exclusive audio footage, not Lord Willing. I believe exclusive audio footage came out in 1999.
They've been doing this for a long time.
They've been doing this for a very long time, and he's never had a rollout like this. So if you're telling me that an artist of his caliber, an MC of his stature, who's respected and feared the way that he is getting a rollout like this in really realistically going in year number like 23, 24 of his career,
Right.
realistically, then I'm all for that. Because those are the types of things that, like, when I make my hip hop list that's going viral, that makes me still put Cool G Rap as the most underrated MC of all time. Because Cool G Rap has yet to receive that. And I think my issue with what Pharrell is doing is something that I've always said. Well, in the link of this great high level lyrical dope boy rap shit, it goes Cool G Rap to Jay-Z to Pusha T. But style-wise, he is somewhere more in the middle between Jay-Z and Cool G Rap and closer to Cool G Rap than Jay. And so I don't like Pharrell trying to Jay-Z.
Jarv says that he thinks that this rollout is stalling. I will say this. Because we don't have a date. Clearly the album is done. At least that's what they say. Because everybody who's done the interview, from Charlamagne to Desus and Mero to the people at Hot 97, they're saying they heard the album. So it's done. We don't have a release date on it. But
Heard what they gave you.
One thing that's striking to me, they all keep saying, or at least Charlamagne kept saying, this is his best complete body of work. So for me, that lets me know that if you got to put those adjectives on it, it's not better than Daytona.
Nope.
So, when you say complete body of work, you're qualifying it in a sense. And I don't really even know what that means. I guess from commercial radio people, that means that maybe it has some radio-friendly stuff on it. And with Pharrell on there and his approach to things, just based on how Pusha T talking about how they've been working, it sounds like that's where Pharrell wanted to go. Like you said, it seems like Pharrell's trying to get him to do some things that Jay-Z would do. And we're going to get to, some of Jay-Z's weaker records, when we do these, Jay-Z's wackest 5 songs or whatever. And a lot of those times was when he was trying to do something current.
Well, Mike, also what I'm doing, and this is part of the notes that I've been taking, because here's the thing that I really started thinking about today, and here's why I don't like it. Why is Pharrell, if this is what's going on, trying to give, in a sort of way, push the same thing that he's given Jay-Z artistically, creatively, and stylistically, and production and beat-wise, like all the way down, all things musical? Why is he giving that to Push when Jay is inherently more charismatic and versatile than Push, and the results of Jay and Pharrell's combination hasn't been as stunning as people think? Because, Mike, I've been sitting up here listing the songs that they've done together, and we're about to talk about that in relationship to some things, because that's why I was like, no, I want to kind of go to Pharrell for a second and kind of highlight some things about Jay in a positive way, but also about Pharrell.
I think the Neptunes and Jay did some great work together. They had some misses. I like Change Clothes a lot. I like La 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 a lot. I like Give It To Me a lot.
No. Hold all that. Hold all that, Mike. We're gonna do it all. We're gonna do it all.
We're gonna do it all. All right. Well, I want to answer your question though. I think that Pharrell has this thing where, well, first of all, Jay-Z isn't his. Like, Jay-Z's not his artist that he had a hand in, early on. So it's different when it's Pusha for him to be able to make that with. I feel like he's kind of had that thing with T.I. as well, where he's over different points in T.I.'s career. They've gotten together to try to maximize on that magic. I feel like for the type of career that Pharrell and the Neptunes have had and the type of career that T.I.'s had, I don't feel like they've ever maximized on their collaborative efforts. I think whenever they collaborate, they've made some cool songs, but it hasn't reached the zenith of what both of those two bring to the table. You know what I mean? It's like, really, you put together, it's like when Iverson and Mello got teamed up. It looked great on paper, and they didn't have a lot of time together. I mean, the numbers look good, but it wasn't something that brought you a championship.
No, no,
You
no.
know?
Their numbers look good. Like Iverson's averaging like 26, 27, like 7, 8 assists because he's passing the ball to Melo a lot who's just shooting. But Mike, who's playing defense and who's actually running plays? Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, as far as like that whole collaboration with Pharrell and Ti, I think that Pharrell has consistently tried to get that magic, and because he knows Ti is the one that's actually versatile in those ways. He's the one that Pharrell's even the one that called him the southern version of Jay-Z on that Down with the King mixtape. So I think he wanted to do that, and that time has passed. So now here we go with Pusha T. And I just think that, man, what we're gonna see on this album, we're gonna see what works best for this individual artist. Kanye's approach or Pharrell's approach.
We are.
And in my personal opinion, Kanye's approach to being able to produce seasoned acts, he's the best at it. Period. I mean, everybody else is kind of giving you beats, and he even talked about, I guess the process of Diet Coke and how that came together. I think he was saying that on the Hot 97 interview. And Kanye's direction of like how to approach it and this and that, he still let you do your thing. He's just kind of giving you a flow to run with, and yeah, it's different.
How about this, Mike? Diet Coke is the best song that we've heard.
Yeah, and that's Ye. Listen, this is what I will say. I want to make a prediction. I think that if this is half and half, because I think they're saying it's 12 songs, right? So let's just say it's 6 Kanye songs and 6 Pharrell songs. We've heard one of Pharrell's songs, and that's the one with Jay. And we heard Diet Coke. I think that Kanye's songs are probably going to be the top half of the album as far as like the top best songs in the album. That's just my prediction. I hope I'm wrong, but that's what's going to separate this from being a good effort. Honestly, this is what's going to separate it from being album of the year or not. Pharrell stuff's going to have to stand up to what we heard on Diet Coke, honestly.
I mean, and Mike, that's at a bare minimum because it's not like Diet Coke is if you know, you know. It's not like that's it. You know what I mean?
Who may hear me clearly? Not that it matters, but, because I don't think it's on the album.
Hear Me Clearly is not better than Diet Coke, even if it is making an album. You know what I mean? So
people are saying Diet Coke's not great. What song do y'all think is better? Y'all think Neck and Wrist is better than Diet Coke, or Diet Coke's better than Neck and Wrist?
Of course, all the Jason.
And yes, 88 Keys. Yeah, 88 Keys and Kanye produced Diet Coke.
Correct. Give 88 Keys. Said like the beat's like 15 years old. And this album is only 12 songs long, which I told you part of the reason why I love Push so much is that he never overdoes it. Like, you're going to get 9 to 13 songs.
Well, he addressed that. He said, you don't make classic music with 23 records. And
how many times have I said that? How many times I come up here and said, like, long players? Yeah, niggas don't want to.
He also said something that I've said. When people go out there with these double discs, and they could say they're not talking about Drake, but it's the truth. They dropped Scorpion and all them damn songs so that they could jack the stream numbers up. Because at the time, when Life of Adidon and Kanye and Pusha was kicking Drake's ass, he needed to be able to show, like, yo, I'm still doing numbers. That's why that's why he vanished from social media for a month, right? And then they came with a double album. Pushed the album back and everything. And that double album was so they could jack the numbers. I mean, he's going to do numbers anyway. He's Drake. But if we do a double disc, it's foolproof. Because in this era of streaming, when people give you 20-something songs, it's not about the quality. It's about jacking the numbers up.
Okay, so Pac is probably transcendent and trend-setting once again. Because conceptually, once upon a time, when the double album really started becoming a thing briefly, and you get All Eyes on Me, Life After Death, and Wu-Tang Forever. Well, part of why you're getting them is because the artist had started, like hip hop had shifted and become more of a money game, and the financial gain was greater to be had. And people started to understand that their financial gain was going to be greater to fulfill their contractual obligations quicker and get free while they were still hot.
Right.
And so it got really misappropriated and misconstrued really quickly because truthfully, after those 3 albums for me, like those are the only 3 quality double albums really. Like those are the only 3. I just said 3. Yeah. All Eyes on Me, Life After Death, Wu-Tang Forever.
Yeah.
Like those are the only ones that are like even quality. And what did I tell you about Wu-Tang Forever? That shit's too long. And to be honest, and so is All Eyes on Me book 2. But you want to know what's just right? Life After Death, and that's why it plays the best. Because like when Pusha's even talking about 25 songs, Life After Death isn't even that. I think it's 21, Mike.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, you know, if Biggie was on No Limit, that's 1 disc. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing against No Limit.
No, but that's just how they used to do it. No Limit used to load up them albums. No Limit to give you your money's worth. You paying $14.99, you're gonna get 20 songs.
So Mike, I want to unpack this whole Pharrell thing and what he's doing with Push. Can I name you the songs that he's done, produced for Jay-Z?
Go ahead.
And tell me where you think, Mike, and all jokes aside, when you hear a top 25 Jay-Z song, I want you to stop me and let me know. Okay?
All right.
Ape Shit. Fuck All Night off the Blueprint 2.
I like that song. I like that song a lot.
Mike, I said stop me when you have a top 25 Jay-Z
I'm just
song.
saying. I just wanted to be clear. I like that song. That's a dope record. Tyler, the Creator, actually said that's his favorite Jay-Z Neptune collaboration.
Okay.
Well, go ahead.
Hold on, Mike. Is that a classic rap song?
Nah. But I like it.
Okay.
That's one of those songs I like.
No, it's a good record. I'm going to get to some of the stuff they did that I personally like that I think is great, but I know it's not considered classic. Oceans off Magna Carta. I know you don't like that.
I don't like anything on Magna Carta. I tried to listen to Magna Carta today. You know what? Hold on. I want to stop you real quick.
Go ahead, please do. You stopping me for the wax on?
This is what I had some notes on for Magna Carta. Somewhere in America. Versus. But see, I didn't put these in the top 5 wackest Jay-Z songs because they're not even full songs. They're not even full songs. This is the first time that we even heard Jay kind of do like some rapping interludes a lot on records. You know what I mean? Somewhere in America is trash.
Trash. I tried not to count Mike, I'm gonna tell you something. This is what I mean. My lists were funny about the wax songs. I tried not to pick the stuff where I could tell they weren't even trying. Like Nostradamus didn't come to mind because it's like the first time I heard that record, I was like, oh, so this nigga just not gonna try. I'm not gonna count it if you're not gonna try. I'm talking about the stuff you tried at and failed at. You know when you was trying and when you failed.
Air Pegasus says Picasso Baby was dope. No, it's not. Go listen to it.
Mike, please go.
Go listen to it.
Mike, go take care of that.
Come on, man. I'm a Hassa. I'm a Rasta. Man, cut it out. Go ahead. Go back to your list, man.
Mike, we're 4 songs in. We have our first classic record. La La La.
I love La La La. Dope.
That's a classic. No, Mike, that's a classic. Would you say that's a classic?
He got off on that record, yeah.
He got off on that. I'm the franchise like the Houston Rockets, yeah.
He was like, Jacqueline and as on the S class, lay back in that Maybach road, the rest, in your long-legged life, ever seen her while surrounded by this much ice? Yeah, he was killing that shit.
No, he killed that. La La La.
I was mad that wasn't on the Black Album, honestly.
I was mad that just really wasn't anywhere where we could just like hold it forever.
But it wouldn't have fit on the Black Album, to be honest. I mean, but I wanted it on there.
You want to know what would have been even better is if it would have been, it feels more, doesn't it feel more like the Girls remix type of vibe off the Blueprint?
Mm-hmm. It does.
I would have liked to see it on the Blueprint or on the excerpts at the end of the Blueprint because I think it's all recorded in that time period. He was just on fire around that time, Mike.
Right. Rigor Raw with the super chat says, Disc 1 of The Streets Disciple is some of my favorite work from Nas. This 2 had bangers too. Can we talk about how dope that would have been if it was 14 tracks? I was going through that album today too. I think if some cuts would have been made, it would have been a better album. Um, I did want to say something about, you talking about making cuts from the blueprint. Obviously, if I were like taking songs off the blueprint, I'm taking
Yeah.
Jigga Jigga That Nigga Jigga off and Whole Lot Ovito off. I'm taking Renegade off, but if people want to keep that on there, I get it. But the one song from the Blueprint 2 that I think would have been great in its place was All Around the World. I would have loved to have heard All Around the World on the Blueprint.
Mike, you like All Around the World?
I like All Around the World.
Mike, can I tell you something? That's low key one of my favorite Jay-Z songs.
It's a dope
I
record.
love All Around the World.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with you. If I could actually submit something to you, I feel like the Blueprint should be a song shorter, and that All Around the World should go where Hola Jovito is. Jigga Jigga That Nigga Jigga just disappears, and you move lyrical exercise right in front of Mama Loves Me, and there you have his best album to me.
Yeah, no, I could see that. Renegade goes though,
And then
and
you still-
honestly,
and
I'm
then-
taking
and then you
Renegade off because of the beat,
No,
and it's
I'm
not
gonna
about
keep
Eminem's
Renegade-
performance because he
No,
did
I'm
his
gonna
thing.
keep, no, I'm gonna keep Renegade about Jay and Eminem's performance because they were both great on that record. People forget that Jay's great on that record.
You think he's great on that record? I think he's just overshadowed by how great Eminem is on that record and how all right, let's say it like this: how comfortable Eminem sounds on that record.
How about this? It's very, very comparable, and not quite the same. But it's kind of like how when people be like, "Oh, well, AZ stunted on Nas on Life's a Bitch." It's like, oh, not all the way. If you listen and you understand how rhyme scheme and patterns and contextualization and literary devices and like all those things really work and come together to create a moment, not necessarily the distance between the two that you're thinking.
I understand what you're saying.
It's not to the same level because Renegade is nowhere near Life's a Bitch in the canon of musical songs, and neither are either one of the mic performances in my estimation. I'm just talking comparatively when speaking about verses of two guys who are great together on a song.
Jay Short with the super chat says, "I feel like Pusha T is held to an unfair standard because of his outstanding catalog. He has no Nostradamus or Blueprint 2, even with the clips." That's fair.
Fair. He's been okay. So here's the thing though. It's like he's been a great, I guess you would say, 4 mic artist outside of Daytona.
Well, all right. So I guess you're looking at him kind of like in a Fabulous type of sense, right?
No, he's better. His albums are better than Fab.
Much better.
Like My Name Is My Name and Daytona to me are better than anything Fab has made as an album.
Well, we constantly bring up, Jadakiss in this, and I think that Pusha has a better catalog than Jada. I think the Clips have a better catalog than the Locks.
Take what I said about Fabulous, apply it to Jadakiss as well. My Name Is My Name, and Daytona's better than anything that he's released as a solo artist. Next.
All right, what I was gonna say about what you had to say about Jay-Z on Renegade, it's kind of like somebody doing a dunk in the slam dunk contest that only dunkers could appreciate. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't bump up your score with the public.
But don't great prior dunkers and Hall of Famers usually judge those things?
Yeah, but the public sees it and be like, "That's not a 9," but they don't know how difficult it is because it's not flashy. Eminem was flashy on Renegade, and it's interesting because Jay is normally the flashy one. But
you want to know what it is? M is the shiny new car. He's real sleek and riding around the curb real fancy, and Jay is kind of like rumbling over it in a way he usually doesn't, but it's in a dope way. Like his double entendres on there. Like he's double entendre and double barring it. You know what I'm saying when I'm saying double barring it? Where it's like he's not just rhyming the first bar, he's rhyming the bar before and after it too.
I think he tried to get too tricky.
Shit, Mike, but he pulled it off. The shit hard. It's hard. I keep telling people, writing a rap verse is one of the hardest things to do in music. Like a great rap verse is one of the hardest things to do in music to compose.
And Jay don't even write, right?
And Jay don't even write. So the fact that he can compose something like that and create the entendre with the rhyme pattern in effect, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, well, I mean, it's not my fault that you don't understand the depth of rhyme style and schemes the way that I do either. That's not my fault either.
My bad. I had to just put up on the screen that Eminem just sold 700 million. What is it? Hold on, what's the stat? It says Rivers has surpassed 700 million streams.
What? What?
Yeah. Eminem's song River. It has passed 700 million streams. You ain't heard that song?
Mike, you better stop playing with me, man.
I'm serious. That's a stat that's a stat that came down the line. I had to put it up on the screen. Y'all bump River all the time, right?
What's the song called?
It's called River. It says River has now surpassed 700 million streams. The 9th studio album single from Revival has obtained over 700 million streams on the platform. This is Eminem's 9th song to reach this milestone.
I won't be entertaining this any further. So
Mike, it got 700 million streams. It's got to be dope, right?
Mike, I'm very proud. That's what it is. No, Mike, I want to stick to this Jay-Z and Pharrell thing for a second.
Go ahead. I got us off course.
No. You're fine. Right now we have 8 shows. All night. Oceans. La la la. Anything off Kingdom Come, Mike. What say you?
Oh man, that song with Usher, "Anything You Want, Girl," is one of the worst Jay-Z songs ever. It almost made my list.
It almost made mine too, Mike. Remember "Nigga Please"?
I like "Nigga Please." It's not a great song, but I like it. And you know what? He was really. You know what I feel like? I know Jay's gonna get me when I say this.
We're not going to the brunch, no way.
Right, we're not going to the Pusha T, get us some brunch tickets. He sounds a lot like Young Chris on "Nigga Please." It almost feels like Young Chris wrote the whole thing. Rigor Ross says, credit to Jay. He did murder Renegade. Still lost. Yes,
Mike,
sir.
Young Chris has writing credits on "Nigga Please," if I'm not mistaken.
Well, he got a verse on there.
Okay.
You ain't flies me. It's the OC.
Mike, that song's not hot. Okay, Mike, we're gonna go. Can I interest you in "Gotta Have It" off of Watch the Throne? Like Gotta Have It's
dope. Now that's dope.
I'm gonna give you "Gotta Have It." Okay. Mike, okay.
I think it's actually one of the better songs on Watch the Throne. I'm not as high on Watch the Throne as most people are.
It is, but saying it's one of the better songs on Watch the Throne isn't saying much, and I've told you that. So, Mike, right now we're
Watch the Throne's a classic. What you mean?
No, it's not a classic. Stop that. So right now we're 7 songs in, Mike. We've only named one classic record that they've done together, and that's La La La. The rest of the stuff is just good or it's not good. Mike, I'm gonna keep going. Excuse me, Miss
is a classic.
I love Excuse Me, Miss on the personal.
Yeah, Excuse Me, Miss is a classic. One of their strongest collaborations.
Excuse
Me, Miss actually kept the Blueprint 2 commercially afloat.
Mike, it's the only good single, really.
It's like the only single on there. Because Bonnie and Clyde, they ain't do nothing. Even with Beyonce on there.
I thought about adding that to the list, but then I was like, well, I don't want to.
I thought about it too.
Yeah, because it's terrible.
It's not even their worst collaboration.
That's pretty sad. One of their worst collaboration made my list.
Me too.
So right now, Mike, right now they're 2 for 8 together in terms of like he's got 8 records with Pharrell. 2 of them are classic. Mike, Entrepreneur. I forgot about
that song. I hate that song.
Mike, when I realized, Mike, if I would have remembered Entrepreneur, it would have made my wackest list.
He only got a verse on there. That's mostly Pharrell songs. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do songs that were actually his. That's kind of why I kept Pop for Rock off of it too, because it's kind of like, I mean, it's on Jay's album, but I wanted to get songs with 3 verses of his on there.
Mike, Blue Magic.
I like Blue Magic.
Is it a classic?
It's not, because it's a replay of My Melody.
Right. So we're 10 records in. We got 2 classic songs between them. Mike, probably my personal favorite collaboration of theirs, I Know off American Gangster. Mike, what do you think about I Know?
I like I Know. I actually like Blue Magic more than I like I Know.
You want to know why I love I Know? Because for those people who keep jumping on here, like Leroy Green, talking about Jay's uses, usage of literary devices. This is one of those moments. Mike, this is what I'm about to say. This is one of those moments where his usage of literary devices, from concept to execution to connection of words that exist upon each other and dependent upon the next. Oh, it's one of his more beautiful moments as an artist, actually. If
Well,
you're talking about it
50 claims
from
that
a
he got it from him. What was that song that 50 had that was kind of like that? It was like a Baltimore Love thing?
I mean, like, even if he stole it, because he's been known to steal, well, he's better than 50, and it came off way better than anything he
I
stole
don't
from
know,
50.
man. I actually think, I mean, it's a whole different type of song. I think a Baltimore Love thing might be better.
No, it's not. 50 can't rap like this, Mike. I'm sorry.
No,
like the way
real.
Jay's rapping, 50 can't rap like that. No. How could you deny me so vehemently? No. Like he's not even using words like that. Like
man,
he doesn't even
50 even said something along those lines. He didn't say vehemently, but I don't know.
No, man, Jay. No. I mean, Mike, Jay is comparing. He's contextualizing the love of a woman to a heroin addiction, and he plays it masterfully.
That's exactly what 50 did on Baltimore Love thing. Same exact concept.
No, Mike, and I understand that. Except for like one guy is like one of the greatest rappers who ever lived, and it's not even a fucking question.
No, I feel you, but I guess my thing is when I've heard the same exact thing from another big name artist 3 years prior, it kind of loses its luster.
Mike, can I interest you in looking at the front door versus I Gave You Power?
No, I feel you. Go listen to Baltimore Love thing. I know you don't fuck with 50 like
go listen to Looking at the Front Door. It's like, man, that's a really great record. And it's like, then go listen to I Gave You Power. And it's like, well, never mind.
Well, no, you're talking about another song. Friendly Game of
no, I'm Looking at the Front Door. Looking at the Front Door is more than being at the gun. That's not just a friendly game.
No, you're talking about you talking about Large Professor? Nah.
Yeah. The Large Pro joint where they talking about being the gun off Breaking Atoms.
It wasn't Looking at the Front Door, was it?
What is it?
No.
It's been a minute.
No.
It's like 19.
Looking at the Front Door is great.
It is. That is great. Hold on. No, I might be wrong. Hold on. What's the record?
You
know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like Nas wasn't the first person to talk about being like in that whole gun concept. Like he wasn't the first. It's just like you go compare. Where's the record?
Well, I thought you were talking about Pharrell Munch's group.
No. Organized Confusion did a play on it too. Correct.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about Organized Confusion. Okay. Now back to I Know. What else is after that?
Oh, So Ambitious.
I didn't really like So Ambitious, but people like it.
It's not a classic though. Mike, Allure?
Allure, people love Allure.
I'll give Allure some classic status, actually, Mike.
Oh, definitely.
Right. Mike, of course, the winner of the bunch, Give It To Me.
Of course. See, this is the thing, and I think I was telling you about this offline. Like, stuff like I Know and Allure, they're dope songs, but it's not what I want to hear from a Jay-Z and Neptune collaboration. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I want to hear from a Jay-Z Neptune collaboration is just some other shit. Like, I feel like Jay can make Allure and I Know with pretty much any producer. But see, again, that's not to anybody's fault of their own, because I see what the Neptunes are able to cook up with people like Busta Rhymes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like some spaced out other shit.
So can I tell you something?
People said Allure's a mid. Frank said Allure's a mid. Go ahead.
Okay. People love Allure and swear by it. I swear they do. Mike, Billionaire Boys Club off Magna Carta with Nas. What say you?
Yeah, that's actually my second favorite song on Magna Carta. But it's not a really good song. I just like it. You know?
It's not a really good song. Saying it's the second best song.
I'm not gonna fight for it or nothing. You know.
Saying it's the second best song on Magna Carta Magna Carta is worse than Nostradamus.
It could be.
No, it is, Mike. Come and Get Me, Shoot 'Em Up, and Last Words is on Nostradamus. There are not 3 dope records on Magna Carta. Mike, Frontin'.
I like Frontin' a lot.
I like Frontin' too. You think Frontin's a classic?
I think Frontin's a classic. Yeah.
You can? Okay, so Mike, I just gave you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I gave you 15 Pharrell and Jay-Z pairings. We walked out with 5 classic records. Now, why in the hell, when you have that type of ratio with Jay, would I trust you with Pusha T? And just so we're clear, and here's why I want to contextualize it even further, when
It's a
Push
good
is never
point.
even close, when Push is never even been close to the hit maker that Jay is. But then and this is what I mean about Mike. The streets always win, Mike. I want to run down. You see how Jay's done 15 joints with Pharrell? I want to run down the 6 joints that he did with Primo, Mike, and I want you to understand this. The Evils, Friend or Foe 98, A Million and One Questions, Rhyme No More, Bring It On, So Ghetto, 6 Primo joints with Jay, 6 fucking classics.
I mean, we could even go down the Just Blaze and Kanye lineup too.
Mike. So I don't want to like hear like this whole like Pharrell like talk like that. It's like you didn't have it like that with Jay. Why would I trust you with Push? I can trust Jay and Preem shit more than I can trust you and Jay shit. Because like, and this is what I keep telling people, well, Jay is a better B-side artist
You
than
left
he is.
off Change Clothes.
Oh, Mike, we can add Change Clothes. Change Clothes isn't a classic, but it's a dope record.
I like Change Clothes.
Mike, that's still 6 for 16. If you shoot 6 for 16 in a basketball game, are you considered to be a good shooter?
No, not really.
All right then.
What were you saying? I'm sorry. I was gonna piggyback off of something that you were just saying before.
No, this is why I've always said Jay is better at B-sides than making hits. He's actually touch and go with his hits, but when he's on his B-side shit, he almost always knocks it out the park, Mike. Especially when you give him a dope producer that is capable of doing those things. And that's part of the reason why I've always said that Nas is better than Jay, because Nas does the B-sides better than Jay, and that's actually Jay's real strength. Not these hits, because the hits ain't like that, like I keep saying.
That's a fair point. Man said that Front and Ran 2003. Yes, it did. Now, I do like that Pusha T.
That's actually Pharrell's song. That's Pharrell's song,
too. Pharrell's first wasn't that Pharrell's first solo song outside of Nerd? I think so.
Yeah, that was the single. Yeah, and that's what I mean. And I just gave that to Jay and Pharrell just because I love that song and I thought it was Mike, when that song came out, I was like, that might be their best pairing.
Somebody said that's Westbrick numbers. This is true. Listen.
6 for 16. Not good. Now, give me 6 for 16, Mike. They 6 for 16, and you push this whole album. I can't trust you at home.
I like the fact that Pusha said that the best songs are the album songs. And so that makes me feel like, and just based on everything that Pusha's saying in these interviews, I feel like Pusha and Kanye are on the same page, even if they're not on the same page. You know what I mean? Like, musically, they're always on the same page, but even if they're not on the same page in life, musically, they're there. Pharrell is, I feel like Pharrell is on some Tyler, the Creator type of shit right now. Respectfully, you know what I mean?
It's respect, but it's like, man, like when you gotta feed the guys sometimes.
It's a coaching thing.
Mike, Hit Boy has done an immaculate job of feeding Nas what he needs and wants at the same damn time.
Exactly. It's like,
this ain't just what you want, nigga. This is what you need.
I always use Shaq for the Lakers as an example, man. Like, feed the big man on the inside where he's comfortable. Don't have Shaq coming out there trying to shoot perimeter shots. What are you doing? Get Shaq down there in the paint. Get the ball to him. Let him do that jump hook or just dunk on somebody. Why are you trying to change this up? Because they already pretty much put it out there that they're not changing subject matter. It's going to be coke rap, right? Because they keep saying this in all these interviews. They keep asking him about being a coke rapper, this and that. It feels like Pharrell's just trying to sonically change this.
Mike, so can I say something? And what I thought was the best part of all the interviews and rollouts that I've seen done for him, when he says they didn't ask Martin Scorsese to make Gone with the Wind, I was like, that's brilliant, because they don't.
Yeah.
Mike, when Martin Scorsese is coming out with a film, are you expecting it to be touching and heartwarming and inviting? Are you expecting to see the inner workings of the dichotomy of a relationship of American society on a basic level with a family and a wife and a husband and 3 kids? Or are you expecting to see some gangster shit, Mike? What you expecting to see?
I'm going to get to that in a second. And shout out to Ryan Gillum with the super chat. He said, have y'all checked out the Girl Talk album yet? Yeah, we're going to be able to get more into that probably on Friday. Because Wiz has been in the news for a lot anyway. I never really loved when rappers would make the film correlation.
No, I love it in this regard.
It's different, but I feel you from a directorial standpoint. It is.
No, I love it in this regard because for 20 years, definitely, people have shown up to see him perform and do what? Now, when you're 20 years into doing something, Mike, and you're still being lauded. As a matter of fact, when the last time you showed up, you were more lauded and applauded than you've ever been. When in any other genre do they ask you to switch it up? Where? Right. That's what he's saying. Where do they ask you to change when you're 20 years in and you're all-time great at it? Like I said, Mike, the link in the chain of this upper echelon lyrical dope boy rap shit goes Cool G rap, Jay-Z, and then Pusha T. He up high in this talk. It's not. That's what he's saying. He's like, no, I'm not some regular guy making a gangster flick. Like a lot of people make gangster flicks, Mike.
I'm gonna get to that in a second. Man says as much as Push tries, he's not not to reference drugs. He does. Shout out to Jarv in the chat. They say Jarv's getting at us. You're gonna have your time on here Friday. We're gonna get into some discussions, and I'm probably gonna go back after the broadcast and check out all the stuff Jarv is saying in the chat. But shout out to the Rap Roundtable. Y'all do great work. I can't wait to talk. But all right, this is the thing. And when people pin him to that coke rap, we've said this before. When we're rating all-time greatness, there's a range that has to be had because even on some Bullyfoot shit, like let's look at Redman, right? Redman's dope as hell. But if you put him up against somebody like, a Nas or Jay or even a DMX who's covered so many different things on such a high level, it's very tough. And I think what it is with Push, people know how skilled he is as a wordsmith and as a lyricist, that we would like to see those same things applied to other things. I think that's where that's coming from. I don't think people are knocking it because of that. It's like, okay, well, to show that you are next level like we know you are, let's apply that to other things. And I think Ebro addressed that too in the interview. He was like, Dust to Dawn did some of that.
Right. This is what I keep saying. People act like he hasn't gotten poignant on subject matter. That's the stuff that people gloss over when he does it, Mike. That's what I keep trying to say. It's like, no, when he does that, people do not gravitate towards that Pusha T. That's why I was like, no, he got a lot of 4 mic stuff. And most of that stuff is 4 mic stuff because he actually tries to balance it out by sprinkling some of that stuff in. Because if he would just go for his, like he did on Daytona, we probably would have had 2 or 3 albums to compare to Daytona, in my opinion. It's the fact that he came around in a time where he's been taught, and a lot of it is Pharrell to play this industry game where it's like, we'll try to give him 2 or 3 joints or something like that, Pusha, and it actually always ends up hurting his albums, Mike. Yeah. It's never helped his album.
And you know me, I'm a Neptune fan. I love the Neptunes. I think they're some of the best, if not the best producers in popular culture over the past 30 years. But I have a feeling. I have a bad feeling from all the stuff I'm hearing in the interviews, and I hope I'm proven wrong. I think Pharrell's going to ruin this album.
Mike, and you're saying something strong, and I want people to separate this because here's what's becoming clear to me, even like sound-wise it's becoming clear to me. Chad is more of the guts of the group. And you can hear production-wise on Hell Hath No Fury now. No. The Neptunes produced Hell Hath No Fury. This is Pharrell pushing Pusha T's album.
I agree.
You get what I'm saying? Like, Chad's not there. No, that matters. That matters, Mike. It's just Pharrell. This isn't the Neptunes producing Pusha T. This is Pharrell.
No, it's a big difference.
Not having Chad matters. Chad is the bones.
No, you're right. I've always been able to tell.
No Fury sounds like that, like those eerie backdrops, those funky, hard-hitting bass lines and synths. That's Chad. That's not Pharrell.
No, you're right. I mean, even when they were talking about how Drop It Like It's Hot was broken down and, what was made and what Chad added to that. Like that doom, 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 doom. That's Chad.
Yeah.
And, think of having that song without that. It might not sound like a big piece, but if you don't have it, it's a big piece.
It's not the same.
It's like not having eyebrows, my nigga. Like, You don't think it's a big deal until they're
No.
gone.
So people need to start understanding these things. That's why I was bringing up the stuff that Pharrell has done with Jay-Z, because Mike, guess what? Most of the high-end stuff is not Pharrell, it's Neptunes. Mike, give it to me as the Neptunes. Mike, La 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 is the Neptunes. Mike, excuse me, miss, is the Neptunes. The three biggest classic songs that Jay did aren't Pharrell songs. They're Neptune songs.
Yeah, no.
Pharrell hasn't
And
proven,
without Chad, those sound very different.
Pharrell has not proven that he's great at making these records by himself for rappers.
Not
of
on
his
no
stature.
hip hop shit for the most part. No.
Not Mike, not like this. Not on the shit that pushed me on.
We
like,
don't.
Not on.
And
not on
listen,
the Fury. That's what I'm
Happy's,
saying. It's important.
Happy's one of the biggest songs of its era. We don't want that for this Pusha T album. But again, I think this is a.
Didn't you make a comment about like hearing that happy shit when I told you about that happy shit, Mike?
Yeah, man. But see, that's the thing too. If you're trying to push him to do those things, he's not gonna sound as good on that as he would on some other shit. Because as a producer, man, and obviously Pharrell knows this, he's one of the greatest producers of all time. You're a coach at this point. And if you have your player in a position where you're not able to maximize on their abilities, it's going to sound like that. You know, it's kind of like a Mike D'Antoni type of mentality. Like, we're just going to do this my way no matter what your skill set is. And no matter what the results are.
Yeah, we're going to play it my way.
Yeah.
I want you to shoot the ball in about 7 seconds. What's defense? Let's see if we can win a championship, even though I haven't won one in 3 decades. All right.
And, you know, and it really makes me think that, I mean, I got to hold Kanye high. When people think about all of the things that were going on with Kanye when he made Daytona, it's fucking remarkable. And I know people will say, Daytona, 7 songs, whatever. He produced this whole album while the whole MAGA hat thing was going on, while he had just done the TMZ interview or whatever. Like, it was a lot going on with Kanye at that time.
Mike, the only thing that the number one thing that Ye did for Daytona was that he just let Push be Push in a way that hadn't happened since Hell Hath No Fury. Like, and people
but
have
he's such a fan and a student of the game that he can hone in to what your strengths are, i.e. B, and make some of your best stuff. He did it with Jay on the Blueprint too. Like, when you think about what Jay was making before that, and it's like, nah, I can come in and make Never Change. I can come in and make Heart of the City. I could come in and flip this door sample, and this is gonna work for Jay. I mean, you got to think at the time, flipping the Doors 5-1 for a Jay-Z song, that wasn't conventional thinking. We think it is now because it worked. This nigga Jay somewhere. I mean, not Jay. This nigga Kanye somewhere else, man.
So Mike, in moments like this, when I'm running down these Jay-Z, Pharrell / Neptune's pairings, the Neptunes is where the classic stuff is at. The Pharrell stuff is where all the mid and all the bad stuff is at. And we're going through somebody like Ye doing B, the Blueprint, Daytona. This is why Ye is in conversation for best hip hop producer of all time, and I don't have Pharrell in my top 10. And people be like, "Oh, well, you bugging?" It's like, no, I'm not bugging. I know what the track record really looks like. When you start breaking down the track record, like if you want to say the Neptunes belong in, we can have a conversation.
Yeah. But that's more so on an overall music thing, not just hip hop. Shout out to Nas the GOAT. He says, Pusha T is talented, but his subject matter has been horrible for 20 years. His lyrical display of everything wrong in black culture. And that's another conversation to have, too, where it's like, do we need coke rap?
No. So you can't say that about him. And this is what I keep saying. All he's done that's what I mean, where he's more like Cool G rap. Well, Jay switched it up and started giving you hit records and sprinkling like little shit in. No, he talked the way Jay talked. So like, I don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, Jay has said some more sinister shit on record than like Push has, like misogynistically and dope boy wise. That's why when people be saying, "Oh, he hasn't been rapping about anything in 20 years," it's like, no. You love when Jay do dope boy rhymes. Mike, I was going to bring this up. This is some of my notes. Mike, you remember Jay-Z on Threat?
Mm-hmm.
People love it when Jay talk like that. Threat's probably the best lyrical performance on the Black album. When Jay talks like that, it's okay. When Pusha T talks like that, it's like, oh, nah, it's the same thing, fam. That's why I keep on trying to contextualize it. Cool G Rap, Jay-Z, Pusha T. You got to start looking at it relatively the same way in terms of what the subject matter really is.
Shout out to Melanin Man with the super chat. Says, much respect to the hard work, fellas. Pharrell is going to drop some filthy beats on Neck and Wrist. And is any indication. Oh, and Coop, how about those Tar Heels and retired Coach K's ass? Got him out of here.
Who said that?
Melanin Man.
That must be somebody who knows me that knows I'm a Duke fan. That's somebody who knows me, Mike. First of all, I'd rather die in the desert 5 miles from the water than to get on the brink of drinking the water and then literally choke it up and die right in front of the water. Go Duke for life. Fuck your team. All right.
I was just watching that. I hate Christian Laettner 30 for 30. Classic.
It is classic.
All right.
Actually,
Christian Laettner was a soldier, man. I gotta give it to him.
Can I tell you something? Because I've met a lot of Duke and North Carolina players. I'll kick it with North Carolina players every day before I'll kick it with Duke players. I've met some awful acting Duke players in my life, most notably Danny Perry.
You don't like Christian Laettner? I think Christian Laettner is probably in my personal opinion, the second best Duke player of all time.
He's not the second best Duke player of all time.
I got Grant Hill number one, man. Grant Hill is fucking phenomenal.
Grant Hill is number one. I would probably actually put Jason Williams at number 2, Mike. Jason Williams.
But come on, man. What Christian Laettner did, man.
Yeah, Christian Laettner was good, but he also came. He's the guy that leveled up. He's not the one that got the ball rolling, and people don't realize something. Oh, that team really didn't win shit till Grant Hill showed up on campus. Bobby Hurley and Hold on. They wasn't winning. Christian Laettner and Bobby Hurley wasn't winning shit. So Grant Hill showed up on campus, really. And that's how that story really needs to get told. Jason Williams was arguably one of the 2 or 3 best players in college basketball from the time he stepped on the Duke basketball court. Like from the time he stepped on the court. He was
Christian
one of the
Laettner
best
was
players.
a winner, man. Jarv talking about Kyrie. Kyrie didn't even play at Duke.
First of all, Kyrie played 13 games, but as far as lore and legend, I've been following Kyrie since high school in Jersey. I used to read his newspaper clippings every morning. Yeah. I'm that kind of Duke fan.
All right, so are we going to end this Pusha T thing? Man, I want to get to this countdown.
Yeah. I mean,
you have some more notes as it pertains to that? Because we still haven't gotten a date. Now, he did say that Malice is on the album, which I think is dope. We're talking about 12 songs, so we already know Jay on the album. We know Malice is on the album. I would venture to say Kanye might be on the album, right?
Well, Mike, okay, so if it's 12 songs, and we've heard 3, or is it 2? I know we've heard 3 songs. 2. Is Hear Me Clearly not going to be on this album?
I don't think Hear Me Clearly is on the album. I mean, I guess I'm assuming because it was on the Nico joint, but...
We got Diet Coke and Neck and Wrist, right?
Yeah.
So we got 10 more records to hear?
5 more from Pharrell, supposedly. At least that's what they're telling us.
Okay, Mike.
And 5 more from Kanye and 88 Keys, maybe. I don't know. But
so 7 of these next 10 tracks need to be better than what we heard for at least to be considered better than Daytona. You understand that, right?
I think the fact that it's better than Daytona is out. That's not happening. It's not better than Daytona. They're not even saying it. The people who've listened to it aren't even saying it.
Because the first 2 that we've heard wouldn't even make Daytona, really, in my opinion, like that. Like I told you, it's like Neck and Wrist would be the 6th best song on Daytona.
Neck and Wrist. Yeah, I think the only song on Daytona that Comeback Baby is probably the only song that I would say Neck and Wrist is better than on Daytona. I don't think that Neck and Wrist is better than Infrared. I don't think Neck and Wrist is better than Santeria. Hard Piano. If you know, you know. The Games We Play.
No. What Would Meek Do?
What Would Meek Do? No.
Bag of Heads, Let Me Slide Like a Drive-Through. No, he don't got no shit like Mike.
Listen,
That's
man,
what
I won't feel right till I feel like Phil Knight. Going for
Mike.
6 rings like what Phil told Mike. Listen, y'all can talk all that stuff about
Mike,
Jay's verse that y'all want. Kanye's verse on What Will Meek Do is smashing that verse. And that's
Mike,
just the truth.
Mike. 7 pill nights. You know what that feels like? No more hiding my scars. I show them like seal, right? Mike, that's one of the best verses of his career.
Straight up.
And
And
then how
then
to
you factor in the timing of it all, too.
Mike, timing's impeccable,
Yeah.
Mike. And I love the timing of the moment because, hey, people don't understand how great Ye is in the moment. It's like that's a moment, and he time capsuled it with one of his best moments as a MC. That's what, like, Daytona's one of his finest moments as an executive producer, but MC wise, that verse is one of his finest moments, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's everything about that verse is everything that really made you fall in love with Kanye to begin with. It's just the adult version of it. So he's making you deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I like it.
Everything Ye say causes a new debate.
It's too bad. Got a surrogate his kid. Did 2 dads. I be thinking, what would Tupac do?
You be thinking what new kids on the block do. I mean, yeah, he was.
Yeah, he's spazzing on there, Mike.
Okay, so yeah, this album has a long way to go when it comes to expectations, but I think the 2 songs that we've heard so far are dope.
So,
I don't know what else they're holding off for. I don't think we're gonna get a single. I think Neck and Wrist is the closest to a single we're gonna get. But again, I don't know if Pharrell has like one of those When the Last Time type of records in his bag or something.
I love When the Last Time, by the way.
I like it too.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's not, it didn't seem like Pusha T liked it when Rosenberg brought it up.
Mike, that record banged. That helped that album a whole lot. That album was dope, and that song was dope. So but I get what he's saying. That's really not his style.
Yeah. If they got a Mr. Me Too in the bag, great.
Right. Mr. Me Too is more his style.
Yeah.
When the Last Time is more Malice style.
Yeah.
But what I will say is that, and here's maybe more fair expectations of this album. What's his solo material look like before this as far as albums go? He's got My Name Is My Name.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got Darkest Before Dawn.
I think it's gonna be better than those.
And he's got Daytona. And so I think it's gonna be better than My Name Is My Name and Darkest Before Dawn, but not as good as Daytona. And what that really probably gives him, he's gonna have a classic album, a great album, and 2 good albums. Not a lot of rappers have that either. And then if you start factoring in Lord Willing, Hell Hath No Fury, Until the Casket Drops, it's like, well, then that...
Yeah.
And
I think what he's aiming for is album of the year. And another thing that stuck out to me too is the fact that he wants to continuously be more frequent in the game and coming out more frequently. Unlike somebody like, who hadn't come out in 5 years or whatever in the prime of their career.
Like his prime's ending. That's why I told you. It's like, if he's in year number 12 of his solo career, it's like, I'm probably going to play at this level for about another 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to get maybe another 2 to 3 projects at this level unless people more regularly start pulling the whole Nas KD 1-2 Magic thing.
Well, Kendrick Lamar's Damn album is celebrating its 5th anniversary tomorrow. So we might get a Kendrick album on Friday.
Is it April still? No, we're past April Fool's Day.
We're past April. Yeah, it's April 13th. Sorry, that was a late April Fool's joke, guys.
Hold on, you want to know what, Mike?
What's that?
Easter is this Sunday. He's going to come back on Easter Sunday.
Right. From the grave. Right. Shout out to Jay Short with the super chat. He says, I don't get the subject matter argument in hip-hop. Groups like AC/DC have been talking about the same thing for 40 years, and their fans still enjoy it.
No, that's why I said, Mike, this is the only genre where it's like, no, let's not do that. We can do better. But then people run around and call Jay-Z the GOAT. And it's like,
I think Tupac started that, man.
But no, how are you going to take issue with subject matter and crown Jay? That's why I keep telling people, it's like, that's Dope Boy Extraordinaire. He's Dope Boy Extraordinaire. And misogynistic all the way up until the point that he started dating Beyonce, like the most misogynistic rapper until he started dating
what makes
B.
you say that? What makes him more misogynistic than other average MCs?
like, fuck if your leg broke, bitch. Hop up on your good foot.
It's pimping talk. Yeah.
Okay. You know why? Fuck them, love them, leave them, because I don't fucking need them.
Yeah. And then you got
Going
do it
on?
again and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right. 6 a.m. I be kicking her out. 7 a.m. I'm gonna call my friends. 12 a.m. Mike, what we gonna do?
We're
We
gonna
gonna do it
do it
again.
again.
Right, Mike.
Well, it's
Ho,
a
get
decent segue. It's a
your
decent segue. So, what?
Mike, ho, get your ass in.
And let's ride.
Okay, but we want to care about subject matter when it comes to Pusha T, but we want to ignore the most misogynistic guy to ever touch the mic. Okay,
Well, with
Mike,
that being said, what?
Mike, on In My Lifetime, remember the
Uh-huh.
video to In My Lifetime before he even had his deal? Like, he's been this misogynistic guy before he was even major. That's what I'm saying. It's like, how you gonna sit up there and talk about this content shit and then call Jay the GOAT? And then be like, but he uses great literary devices, yeah, misogynistically against women, and talks about selling dope on a major level and murdering niggas too. But that's okay when it's Jay. Let Pusha do this shit and it's a problem. It's so whack.
It's all about who you like, right? The Truest says, shout out to the Truest with the super chat. He says 3,000 body Nas on that cop shot the kid, right? I don't even remember 3,000's verse. I remember it leaked.
Kanye?
And, huh?
I mean, Kanye on cop shot?
No, there's a version of what 3,000 was on there or something.
Is there? Was that like a real actual version?
I think so. But who knows with 3,000? Who knows?
All right. Mike, actually, I want to get to that in a second. Hold on, where are we going next?
We were going to go to the not top five. So we were going to go to Jay-Z's wackest 5 songs and Nas's wackest 5 songs.
Right. I'm glad we're there because we've been hearing a lot in our chat, once again, about these literary devices. And a lot of people have been making claims about Jay's usage of literary devices, you know, being like some sort of tipping scale in terms of him being the greatest MC of all time.
Well, hold. Leroy Green brings up a good point. He says Biggie wasn't misogynistic.
Huh?
He said Biggie wasn't misogynistic.
Yes.
He was.
Yes. But Biggie also talked from the perspective of saying things like, my mother has cancer in her breast. Don't ask me why I'm motherfucking stressed. Or he talked in relationship about, you know, doing stuff for his daughter, too. Like, he actually had some human qualities to him where he wasn't just fucking a bunch of bitches and leaving them on the side of the road like Jay-Z did in his records for 6 years. But keep on using that big shit. All right. Now that we got that cleared away, see how people you see how people will fight for Jay and even drag Big into it? You feel what I'm saying?
It's Leroy Green, man. It's probably Memphis Bleak out there.
Mike, I don't. First of all, I'm a bunch of Leroy's real
Listen,
name.
I'm trying to get to the brunch, man. I'm trying to. I mean, Pusha T said the brunch was a bunch of fun, and it was one of the best times ever. I'm just trying to get there.
What they have, like a little tuna tartare? You know, like how they have it? I mean, I like a little tuna tartare, a little vino noble. You know.
Leroy Green's even saying Nas was misogynistic as well. Let me ask you this: which one do you want to start with?
Hold on. Nas can be misogynistic, and so can Tupac. But there's also this thing called balance. It can also be very uplifting and positive.
Is it Black Girl Lost or Shorty Owe You for Ice?
Yeah, no. And part of being a great MC sometimes is being contrary or contradictory. Like, no, Jay-Z pretty much was a misogynist and then got married and shut the fuck up about it. That's not contrary or contradictory. That's just kind of like, it's like, oh yeah, let me act like that's not happening because I'm a hustler.
What do you think about Too Short in those terms then?
I mean, Too Short that's Too Short's claim to fame though, isn't it?
Okay, but also, it still doesn't make it. You know.
But Too Short's not held up high in this business as the greatest MC of all time now, is he?
That's fair.
And Mike, if you want to know why, content and subject matter have a lot to do with that. Because Short's actually really dope on the mic. And actually, if you were to meet Short like I have a couple times, actually really nice dude.
What do you think about Eminem in those terms? Or does he just not count? Because I would say that he's probably the most extreme misogynist. Eminem clearly hates women in his music.
Right. I mean, that's more like a psychosis and emotional and not really rooted in reality. Jay's misogyny is rooted in the reality of his life. That's why I brought up in my
Oh, not
lifetime.
rooted in reality. He's talking about real people and
No, no,
real
no. I mean, he's
situations.
talking. No, 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 Mike. He's also talking about some things that aren't real and fantasized and imagined for the sake of shock value, like throwing his baby mama in the trunk and driving to a dock and dropping her off in it.
I think that's a little bit crazier, in my opinion.
No, no, Mike. It's crazier, but it's not rooted in reality. Jay's misogyny is rooted in reality. Go look at In My Lifetime, Volume 1, the song and the video. That's what I'm saying. This isn't Gus the guy that talks misogynistically. No, no, no. It's living the shit that he was talking. And we like the real in hip hop, right? We weigh the real more heavy than the fake, right?
The answer says y'all never stay on topic. Let's get back to topic. So, which
Mike,
one do you want to do first?
because we talking about Nas and Jay, and I want to get to these literary devices right quick. I told you I had sidebar notes today.
Okay.
So we can be on topic. So Mike,
So that was on topic.
Right, so it was on topic. Mike, this use of literary devices being the determinant factor has to stop. Literary devices inherently does not make for brilliant records. Let me show you two great records from both of these gentlemen where the literary devices are not at their zenith, but at some of their best stuff. Do you think Jay-Z is using a lot of literary devices on imaginary plays? And now you got these young cats acting like they slum cats, all in their dumb raps, talking about how they fun stat. When I see him in the streets, you get what I'm saying? The literary device isn't high, Mike, but some of his best stuff. Mike, is Nas using a lot of literary devices on Made You Look? Now let's get it all in perspective. But all y'all enjoyment a song y'all can step with.
I don't get into all of that, man. Like if it bangs, it bangs. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what I'm trying to say. No, 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 Mike, because people coming in here defending Jay-Z keep making it seem like the literary device is like some sort of make-all, be-all. And what I'm saying is that like a literary device and the uses of it in an astounding way doesn't mean that the results are astounding. Mike, go listen to I Know off American Gangster. The literary devices are at his zenith. The song isn't even one of his 30 best songs. The usage of literary devices doesn't inherently mean that the rapper is greater, because the song would be greater thereby with the usage of literary devices if that's the case. And that's why I wanted to bring up two songs.
Well, there's a lot of factors in making a great hip-hop record. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and literary devices is at a minimal of it, is what I'm saying.
JC88 says that female rappers are misogynist towards men all the time.
No. They're playing the game that we gave them. Don't ever say no bullshit like that. Like they're literally playing the game that we gave them. That's some bullshit. Next. Like that's some bullshit.
Like how the fuck? I mean, I see where you're coming from. And Mike, I see how it could be. I can see how it could be viewed in that way. And I see what you're saying.
How did James Brown song go? How long this been going on? We're not about to have a conversation about whose world this is and who's running it and who's really setting the tone about the games being played.
Well, let me ask you this then.
These women would not talk and behave this way if they weren't already over-sexualized and misogynized by the men in the spectrum. Period. Point blank. That shit is not up for discussion. The shit is not up for discussion about why the women talk the way they do. The women behave the way they do because the men do first. Period. Ain't no fucking skipping around that shit. This is that childish shit that I be talking about that goes on in hip hop that we have to grow the fuck up from.
So God, all right, so what would you advise? I guess
I'd advise them to shut the fuck up.
No. That's not where I'm going. What would you advise a female MC that's coming out like somebody like a Rhapsody, right? And then you got somebody like a Nicki or let's just say Mulatto or whatever.
I love what Lotto doing because you know what, Lotto's playing the cards that she was dealt by these fucked up ass men and their ideas about sex, beauty, and imagery. She playing their game, not hers.
But that's the thing though. At what point do you make it your game? Is it possible?
Lauryn Hill tried that shit. It didn't work. Next.
Well, did she?
Yes. Yeah. Mike, did you see the Unplugged? Have you seen?
No, I'm just saying, as a rapper, did she? I feel like Lauryn just walked away from it.
Why would that be?
I think Lauryn went and made an R&B album instead of making a rap album.
Mike, why did Lauryn step away? You know I haven't defended her much, but could it be all these, I don't know, over-sexualizations and misogynist things that she was seeing going on that she did not want to partake in and contribute to? Okay, then.
What's
I
the
don't believe
answer? I guess I'm all in the solution business. What's the answer?
Part of the answer is guys like that made that comment need to go check them fucking selves first. That's the first thing that needs to happen. That's like
because they're mentioning city girls in the chat.
Self audit and accountability, like by the men in the spectrum who run it, needs to happen first. And Mike, I'll tell you flat out, that's part of the reason why Jay-Z will never be number one to me, though. And why Biggie's not number one to me either, because what they offer, this culture, in terms of content, how can I clearly put you at number one? That's why I tell you, Mike, Tupac is the logo, because he's an accurate representation of everything that's right and wrong.
Jay Short with the super chat says, "Money is my B" is on I Am. Was a literary device. No one's saying that's a great song. Jay-Z fans need to stop.
It's terrible. Money is my bitches. Like, how about this, Mike? That was on the original version of I Am. That was the only record on the original version of I Am that I had that I didn't care for.